Hello, crafty friends. Hi, I'm Emily Gallo, your Creative Memories Advisor from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Today we're going to be creating the project recipe from the Sun Soaked collection, along with my two-page advanced class kit. So super exciting. But for the project recipe, you're going to be needing the paper pack, designer paper pack. You'll be using the white capped waves, your sun-soaked stickers. You'll also need a sheet of cardstock. I find it best when I use the cutting guide when I'm cutting. So I'm going to flip that project recipe right on over. The first thing you're going to be doing is actually working on number 3, is the cardstock here. We're going to be punching this out using our white cap waves. You want to make sure you take that cardstock all the way to the back of the punch, flush with the back of the punch, and then also lined up. You'll see when it's up, there's these little hash marks here in the front. You want to make sure you're going with that. If you are looking for the white cap waves border punch, I do have some in stock. You're going to press that down, and then you're going to pull this out, and you'll see there's an image here, and you want to line that image up with the back of the punch, or excuse me, with the image on the wings of the punch. Once again, move that down, and you're going to be making sure that that is flush to the back. And once again, we're going to be bringing that up to the back here, making sure that image is lined up lovely. Wonderful. You want to walk that down. Sure that image is tight to the back. I'm going to flip it around. You'll see that there's these little triangle pieces, and I'm just being lazy. I don't need to cut it off as the image says. All right, so we have one down, one to go. We're going to punch it again. Once again, flush to the back of the punch and line up with that little hashtag in the front. Walking it down here. Once again, making sure that image is married up. You do have that little help of the triangle too. And bring that here. Walk it down again. Great. Okay. And there's your 2 sets of waves, and this is just trash. All right, so the next cut is you're making a 7 by 10 inch block. Let's get my trimmer out here. Seven by 10. So 7 inches. I do want to trim that on that side, so I'm going to give myself just a little bit of space here around, just to kind of trim off those little triangle pieces. Nice. All right. So 7 by 10 inches. All right. And this is just left over along with this. The cut guide is also saying we're cutting these border punches to 8 inches instead of 12. So if you want to bring this up. Okay. And then 8 again. Nice. All right. Good things. And so now we're looking for a designer paper number 1, and I'm going to follow along here. So designer paper number 1 is A, and this is that blue paper. Oh, I do love this blue paper. It looks like little bubbles. Okay, and we're looking for 1, 2, and then I'm looking for Oh, that is the other paper. Center paper empty. Yeah, okay, it's just two. We're using both of these. Duh, I'm looking for another paper. Sugars. Let's start that here. All right. Right, and here's the other paper with all the things. Okay, good. All right, so we got our paper out. Sorry about that confusion there. All right, all good things. And back to my cutting guide. So now we're looking for an 8-inch by 8-inch block. So we're gonna cut here, start at the 8-inch, pull that long arm out. All right, here's the 8. And by 8. And then this is an 8 by 4. All right. And we need a 3.5. That's right, 3.5. This is excess, don't need this. By 10-inch. Okay, and then on this guy, we need a 4 and an 8. I want to make sure my guys are going the right way. Yeah, okay, so good, 4 by 8. And you want to make sure your fishies are facing the right direction here, okay? So 4 and then an 8. And I think we're good. All right, so put my trimmer down here. And this piece is getting used. All right, so for our background, you want to put this back on over. I like this little orange. You also could do it this way, though I think it gets kind of busy. So you want to just kind of put this here, right? And we're looking for, like this here. So this is that 8 by 8. We're going to flip it over and use it on this side. Okay. And then we need, this goes here to match it. Okay. That is 4 by 8. Then we have this little guy here, which is actually going to be right here. And we're going to need the fishies. All right. Then here. And then the big block goes over here. All right. Nice. And we're looking for this. Okay. And we're going to be ready for here. I want to make sure that these waves, whoops, are here, here, and here. We're going to kind of dry fit this because we want to make sure that we're following the line up here. And pull this up just a smidge, because that's the most important part, is getting those waves down. I am going to use Repo. Okay, and I'm going to start with, if you can see, like there's these little tiny humps here on the designer paper, the back. All right, and then we just magically it disappears. Goodbye. Right? And then we're going to do the same thing to the top one. And I know that's just a smidgen over. Nice. All right. Good. And we're going to use my other tape here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the middle. Really make sure it's nice and strong. And we want to give ourselves a little bit of a border Once again, using kind of the background paper to kind of keep an eye, make sure things are level. Put this one down next using my regular tape. Okay. Things, so make sure that's nicely lined up. Bring that over so everything's nicely lined up. All right, good things. This is going to go down here. Good. And I'm going to line it up so it, yeah, I think she actually, whoever made this, I think it brings it up just a little bit more, just giving a little bit more of a thing on the bottom here. And then this one next. We want to make sure we're lining this up really nice with the paper next to it. Let's make sure this is even. That's also the problem. Always help to see if the background is even. All right, and here we go. Lining that up like so. Okay, and gotta get ourselves a big block over here. This is 8 by 12 inches. And making sure that's nice and even. Okay. I don't know why that's not. One time I didn't use repo, right? All right. All right. And then we gotta get this guy down. Once again, I'd like to kind of match this up with this line in my head. Okay, and then once again, we're going to be using the repo. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh, that could use a little extra zhuzh. Get rid of that excess tape. Okay, good thing. So yep. Okay, and then we'll do this guy too. Make sure that it's okay. All right, wonderful. So now when you go to put your pictures on this page, you're looking for a 3x4, a 3x4. These are two, both 6 by 3.5, 6 by 3.5. They're asking for a picture right here being 3.5 by 3.5. Up here, you're looking for a 6 by 3.5, 6 by 3.5. It will kind of nicely image these, mirror these two. For your stickers, since that's what we got going here, I would recommend something like this, and maybe your flip-flops. Trying to think what's a good sticker here. Beach bums? Sure, why not, right? This is why I don't always stick them down right away. Nope, guess that's staying. Okay. All right. Beach bums, that sounds great. We might even put a little, so I can flick that up just a smidge. Nice. All right. What else do they have here? And then they added a couple little zhuzhes here and some zhuzhes over here. But I want to save most of my stickers because I want to make sure, I know there's a lot going on the next page, and I don't want to, I know I don't use this. And if I can just find a, seashells by the seashore, right? Okay, very nice. Love it. I do need to put a little thing here. Trap It Likes It Hot. A couple little stickers here. And we need some things, right? Good things? Yeah, loving that. Okay, great. Well, let me switch over here, pick up a little intermission, and we will start the next advanced page. So you want to get the rest of your things out, and we're going to be going for this underwater tropical page here. So good things. We'll see you in a minute. Hello, crafty friends. We're back again with the more advanced layout for this evening. And I created the bubbles template on my Glowforge. So unfortunately, for those that have not purchased the kit, you're not gonna be able to create the bubble aspect, but you can do the other parts. We'll work through that together. Let me just go and find my bubble template for you. All right, so there are two templates here made out of the Island Water paper. And that is going to be your templates here and here. Just kind of so you kind of see how this works, right? And here and here. For your background paper, you are looking for the really pretty turquoise paper. It looks like there's mandala leaves on the one side, which is what we're going to use, but then it's also the leaves here with the, I don't know if they're like parrots, I guess. But you're going to be pushing it up this way. So to start off, what I'm asking for is everyone to start off with that turquoise paper up first, okay? And we don't need your templates just yet because I get to show you a little bit. So we're going to try to make, conserve paper to use get these mats out of here, okay? And how do I do that? This also makes the paper not only more useful, but it makes the paper lighter. So we're looking to kind of cut these out in the back to give yourself a window, and it's okay because the template fits right over and it will hide that. All right, so this square is 5.5 this way by 8. You will need your CM 12-inch trimmer to help you cut these. Let's pull that out. All right, so you want to pull out your 12-inch trimmer here. Hopefully this is fitting in the frame, and making sure that your long arm is all the way open. And then you're going to make sure your kickstand is up here, and that kind of helps give you support. And we're cutting out this little window here using the turquoise paper. So you want to make sure, because you're going down 8 inches, you want to make sure you're going over 5.5 inches, okay? And you're going to go 2 to 10, like you're driving a car, okay? So where the paper is going to be pierced, we're looking at it this way, you'll see this little line here. That is exactly where the blade will pierce the paper. So once again, 10 to 2. So 2 to 10, okay? Down this way, that's 8 inches. And then we're gonna rotate it. We're only gonna go down 5.5 inches. And once again, if you can see, you got your 1 to 5.5. And to 2 here. All right, and we're going 5.5 to here. Good. And rotate it once again. Oh, I could probably take it this way, so we're getting this right. We're gonna lay it up here, the 10-inch mark. Okay, we're going to the 5.5. Okay. All right, side, and we'll get the other one out. So once again, we are at we want to go down 2 inches, so 10, okay? And we are 10 to 2, and no. Right, 10 to 2, here we go. So we're going 10 to 2, okay? And we're gonna go down to the 5.5-inch mark. Okay, and rotate it. Once again, line that up, 10 to 2. Going down to the 5.5. Okay, and then for here, you're gonna go over here 5.5 inches, right? And you're going from 2 to 10. Okay, good. Put this back for a second. Okay, so now you're ready to take these pieces here. You want your window in the center. Window in the center. All right. And you are now ready for your templates. You can find those with everything. Here you go. And your bubbles are here. And you want to make sure that that template is flush with the inner, the cut here, okay? So the next part, you're going to need your bubble punch. This is an oldie but a goodie. Your bubble BMC. I think that might be old company. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure I could look it up for a date if you're really that interested. And you're working on creating these bubbles. Oh shoot, that just tore my things here. Your bubbles, okay, right here. Now you can see that you actually stop. And you're only going to punch, I want to say 4. You don't punch all the way. All right. So for those that have not done this before, you want to make sure that you're taking your template and putting it all the way to the bottom. Lock that in, also flush with the guide. And now you're done with the guide, you're going to flip this over, okay? You're going to load your cartridge into the cartridge holder here. And you're looking here, you can see these little notches. There's actually matching coordinating notches here, okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, I'm sorry, 3 times. 3. You don't want to do a 4th one. All right, so now you're going to take it around here. I am going to recommend that you actually, just as easier for me, you want to flip it around too. You want that paper to be flush to the bottom of the line up here, making sure this is flush to the guide. Flip that back around, and once again, 1, 2, 3, 3 punches, okay? Now, if you don't have this template at home, you could just punch it 1, 2, 3 times, I guess, and then create some bubbles on the other side of your template if you wanted to. Okay. All right, so put that back down here, and you're working here. All right, and now it's time to do the other side. So once again, you're going to take your template, pull out your guide. And you want to make sure, once again, this is this direction, right? You want to have that corner down here, lock it in, put the guide back, and you're doing 1, 2, 3 punches. And if you purchased a kit from me and I mailed it to you, you're already punched out. Okay. 2. Last but not least, number 3. And we got some mess to clean up here. All right, and we're done with that guy. Now, when you look at the sample, you'll notice that they're blue bubbles and not this turquoise color. To give a little bit more of a statement, or that you can actually see these, I already cut these out if you purchased a kit. If not, these are 6 by 1 1/4, and you're going to need 4 of them. You want to flip this guy over here. You want to get your repo. All right. And you're just going to play this right over here. I would make sure it's all the way flush with the inside of the paper. You're going to need 4 of these. So once again, it is 6 by 1 1/4 if you're doing it at home. But if you purchase a kit, yours are already pre-cut. Just find them in the bottom of your Ziploc bag there. Make sure that's all the way down, right? And it really helps make those bubbles pop out so you can see them. This was a good BMC. I think there's also a standalone punch that was bubbles. I never owned it, so because I had the BMC, but you probably could try that too. I'm not sure if it would work out perfectly or not, but it will definitely give you that look that you're hoping to see. And great. All right, so next on the docket, before we tape these down, is we're going to be looking at, and don't mind this, apparently the coral guy got fudged up. I'll have to glue that down. But so these circles here, if you bought a kit, they are in your kit. If not, you're looking for, this one is the largest plate, number 3, size 3, and with a blue blade, and blue blade. And then this one is the largest plate with a green blade. But if you bought the kit, you are good. It was already, I'll kind of glue this down here. It's already pre-cut for you. Some of the benefits of buying the kit. All right. And let's see if I can find those. So this one is going to go here. This guy is going to go here, and this guy's going here, and this guy is going here. All right. And I guess I'm using, I don't have a glue sticks or my glue pen, so I guess we're just going to do this. All right. Hopla. Now, that being said, I'm expecting that a picture is really going to end up in this spot. I gave you white spots just in case you wanted to mat it. You could theoretically just put your picture right there too. All right, and look at this guy down. Still a couple more things working here. Once again, flip this over. Just a little bit of dab will do ya, because we're going to be able to. All right. Lovely. All right, so it's coming together nicely. Good things. All right. You want to go in and you want to find your vellum. So these are just going to go right underneath of here. This paper was not, this vellum was not in this collection. I'm pretty sure it's from Grateful 2, but I also wouldn't bet on that. And I just used the Circle Punch, the new one, 3 3/4. So if you have vellum at home and you are creating this, is a great way to make some of your bubbles. Get that guy in there. Would have helped if I had it here. All right, and see how this is coming together nicely. Now I'll flip this over, do the same thing. And I'm gonna find my last bubble here. On the bottom. So just make sure you find, you know, they could be hiding out all the way in the bottom of your Ziploc, hide under the paper. So keep looking if it's there. I definitely double checked that I got those. Oh, sugars. This is probably why glue would have been a better choice, Emily. All right. And da-da-da. Nice. Yeah. All right. Now, I did add, as I'm doing this, I think I did add some, just to make some of these bubbles pop a little bit more, some blue back here. So you want to look in your kit to find some of those if you want. Once again, I just used the 1 3/4 inch circle to kind of highlight some of those pieces. Let me go find those out of my bag. All right, so I found all the little bubbles here in the bottom of my kit. You need a total of, I think, 8, but let me double check here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna cut one of these in half. And 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this is just blue paper for those kind of trying to follow at home. All right, and it's just gonna help highlight some of those little openings, okay? So let's flip this puppy back over again. And you can use your regular tape. You don't have to use the repo anymore for this side. All right, and let's see here. So we have this guy, this half guy. I want to make sure to go over here. There's the other half. We're just filling in these holes. I'm just gonna pull this guy over here. All right, and when we flip it over, ta-da! Gorgeous, gorgeous, right? And that way you can see some of that, those little holes, making it a little bit more realistic, okay? And we did good on this side, so let's see if we can do it on the other. Flip this puppy over, all right? And all right. And so this guy gets a half, he gets a whole. I think that guy gets the half. I'm not 1000% sure. Oh geez, that might be a hard one. And then this guy. All right, so wasn't sure if I was really ready to put it down, but I think I'm ready to put it down. Let's just double check. Oh, yeah, I think I am. Okay, I think I'm ready to get this guy going. I am going to recommend that you actually put the tape here. I would use Repo. Okay, I'll run it there because that doesn't get shown. Don't go that far. All right. And then you're going to want to put some tape on here. Right? And I want to make sure this is nicely centered. You want these lines to kind of match up. Good. You end up leaving like a, I guess a ½ inch on either side here of that frame. So I am going to have to trim that a little bit. All right, and let's flip this guy over. Once again, we're going to do the honors here and here. Whoop. Let's make sure this is even. Nice. All right. And ta-da! We're good. Now for the inside, you are looking for, let's back over here, the paper that to me, it looks like, you know, the ocean waves, right? Because this is your ocean here. And it's going to be 6 inches in length, or in width, excuse me. But it's going to be 9 inches in length. So I would like to try to save, because I don't want to use the beach. I'm going to pull up my long arm again, get this guy down, and I am going to bring it over to the 9-inch mark. Okay, make sure that's flush there. And that will save me a nice border for something else, for a different page. And it is 6 inches in width on each side. Okay. And that is supposed to go here and here. And it gives you a nice frame. Okay, so let's get that down. All right, and get this one guy down. And I do love how it's just coming together. A lot of pretty aqua. Nothing better than island waters, right? And so you can see how that's gonna look so nice. Okay, and now we are looking for the pieces that we cut out or gutted out of the turquoise paper here. So you have two, you don't really need two. We're making some frame pieces. I only did one. Part of me is kind of like, I wonder what it would look like if I did do two, but the issue I think was that I ran out of paper somehow. So let's see. Either way, those little blocks are 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I think that was part of the issue too. I can't, is it 8? Oh, it is 8. We probably could do it. All right, so 3 3/4. Well, first, let's do 4 3/4. Let's do it that way. 4 3/4. Cut this down. All right. And this is just extra. And then from there, we need 3 3/4. And another 3 3/4. Okay. And a little extra, throw that away. And if we want to do more, we can. Let's see what I got. If you have a kit, then that's great. You just have your little blocks here. But if you're cutting these home, I'll get to figure out what those are actually, because I pre-cut them for everybody. You are looking at, so this is 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. All right. For the bottom piece. All right. Yeah, I did do it like that. I had a little bit of space though. Didn't make that go flush. I made this go flush, but not that. And then these were a little bit bigger. That's right. So then these are probably 4 by 4, I bet you. No, these are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, so 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, making this a 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 picture to go on. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it again. I just think once I do that, it will look right. So, yeah, all good things. All right, let's get this down. And I'll kind of pull this up a little bit. Oh, right, because nope. You want to make sure this is closer to the top. And the reason is because there's coral going right here. Forgot about that part. Okay, and then we got this guy. And the turquoise should be flush with the center. And then the matte is flush with the top matte. So a little bit of an edge here, right? Make sure this is flush. All right. Good. And now you're going to get out your orange piece. Now I pre-cut or pre-punched, I guess is the right way to say that, the coral for everybody. If you bought the kit, if you have not and you are interested in getting the coral punch, you need to get on to my Facebook group, Scrapbooking with Emily, and add yourself to the list. I am sold out as of now with bundles, but I have a friend that has extras, so we're working things out between the two of us. There's that. But then there's also the fact that since I hit top tier, I should theoretically get round 2. Whatever's left over that hasn't get sold, I'm supposed to be getting those. And that will happen in May. So you want to get yourself on that list. Private message me with your address, your home address. And that way when your name comes up or your turn comes up, I can quickly figure out how much it's going to be to ship to you. And we can get that coral punch to you quickly. All right, so the coral punch is already pre-cut for everyone who bought a kit. You're going to want to cut right here at that edge of where the matte strip is, giving yourself a little bit of an edge, but not too much, okay? And you're going to be cutting this at 6 inches. So turn this around, right? 6 inches here. All right. Good, good. And this this would be better if I had my glue pen, but I don't know what happened to it. All right. And so this is going to go right here. But we can use the repo, I guess. This is a delicate punch, I'll tell you that. I don't know if you saw me, I kind of, yes, too much manhandling. So that should go all the way down here. And that, talk about a nice pop of color, right? With that, gets all that orange, or gets all that teal with that pretty orange. Yeah, really nice, right? I did have some questions. Can I just buy the punch? No, they're not selling the punch. It's a whole bundle. Maybe later in time I would separate them. But as of right now, they're being sold as a bundle for $128. It includes the beautiful paper. It includes a really cool large tote that is very useful for storage. So it's not like things in the bundle aren't amazing. So all good things. All right, so the hard part is over. You basically put this all together. And now it's the fun part, which is decorating. If I can find my stickers. Here they all are. And, all right. So the first thing I did was I took the bubbles, okay? Because there are some pieces here. You don't have to do this if you don't want. If you feel like it's just too much underwater, you want to make it more sea. But we do a lot of tropical trips. So I am putting the bubbles here, and I'm doing it to hide some of that edge. Okay, going right up the line here. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right. Once again, bringing those bubbles right up the top here. Okay. And let's see. I want you to cut a coral. Oh yes, yeah, then I started putting them in here. Right? We just started having fun with some of these. Okay. And then we had, trying to look and see here. Whoops. All right. Under the sea goes over there. Oh, and then the little fishy guys. All right. So I kind of wanted to make this almost like maybe you could use it for the aquarium more than just, oh, I'm going on a vacation. We did, snorkeling or scuba diving. Because, I do want things to be functional. So that's why I put the little vellum here. And I was just kind of like the, how when you go to an aquarium, they swim up and they kind of come into frame when they finally get to you, into that window that you're peeking out. So I was kind of feeling that here. So you want to bring this guy like this. And then I started using some of the bubbles that were available. Okay. Right. And then this guy, he doesn't look very happy, but, and I just kind of scallop them out. You could theoretically also do it the other way too, right? And have like one are going this way, that way. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but you could. And you just want to kind of get it so they're coming into the window, right? I don't know if I have any more bubbles for this guy. All right, and give me 1 second. I'm losing all my stickers here. And then we've got this guy. He looks like a sea urchin. He looks like he lives in the bottom of the ocean. All right, and I just kind of sneaking those in as much as you can. I want to get my haircut down here a little bit. A little bit further down. vellum is not. All right, well, that's okay. We'll give him some bubbles and that'll definitely keep it together, right? Yeah. Ta-da! That's not going anywhere. And then my last little fishy guy, he's down here. And I kind of like him, like a lot. So I want to show more of him. So I'm not going to scallop him. If I can get him under, right? If I can do that. Okay, and we got to give him some bubbles too. Right? Then in your kit, you will also, I punched these out if you purchased a kit. This is going to be your seaweed. This is leafy vine. And I used a couple of different colors and I kind of just sporadically put them in everyone's different things. So I'm not sure what everyone got. I figured this is enough. If you need more, I guess you could, let me know and I'll send you more if you really need to. But, it's just supposed to be kind of the seaweed here that's hanging out at the bottom of the ocean, right? So you want to just kind of keep trimming some of this. And they just kind of, get stuck in here. All right. I like that there. And, change up with some different colors. All the seaweed's different, right? I would recommend, kind of putting some out and then make some longer and just keep giving them haircuts, okay? Kind of just sneaking them in, those little bubbles. Make it pop a little bit. Remember, this is going to be a picture here. Did make some longer. I do kind of like all the different colors of green. I think that looks kind of cool. Should have my micro scissors for this. Just get this down there. I don't want to bore everyone with me making seaweed. All right. Leave it there. Do that too. Right? And then you're just going to add some other stickers and whatnot to kind of make it your own. Bringing this back over here, right? I do kind of like snorkeling adventures, but if you don't snorkel, maybe not. I use these guys on the stickers here with more of the, almost like more seaweed. If it's more of a tropical feel, all inclusive, maybe add some more of the drink cups and whatnot. And, they have lots of different options too for the sayings. So, sun-kissed and carefree, tropical state of mind would be awesome. You honestly probably could put this in one of these bubbles if you wanted to, which would be kind of cool. And, I like that. But, oh, I definitely did so much fun to see. I thought that was kind of cute right there in one of the bubbles right over here. And I did add some more of the bubbling, bubbling up. So thank you so much for enjoying, following along. If you are interested in a bundle or a kit, excuse me, I can reach out and I can get that to you. And I would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, so I can keep making these awesome videos for you. And even though you don't live close, you can't come to the workshop, at least you can come and participate in the workshop. So thank you so much. And all good things. Bye.